All right, in this video, we are going to be talking about the metric system. And we're going to be kind of converting things in and out. We're just going to talk about what some common things are, something that we're not as familiar with metric system on some measurements, but not other measurements. So length. Length is, meter is kind of like our yard. It's roughly, the meter is roughly about the same size as a yard. Kilometer is smaller than a mile, but it's kind of the largest form of measurement. And then you have centimeters and millimeters. So it's kind of those two are our inches-ish idea. So millimeters is the smallest, and then centimeters, and then meter, and then kilometer. If you're talking about weight, so this is definitely more common. Grams and milligrams are definitely the most common version of it. And if something is heavy, then you're looking at a kilogram. And then capacity and volume. So if you have a liquid kind of a thing, so a lot of drinks are liters or so many milliliters. So those two are pretty common. So just to kind of get a little bit of a taste for it. So I kind of have this drawn out in meters, but it also would work for liters and work for grams, that you have 1 meter. And then it goes out that if you're talking about, this is called a decameter, which it's not very common at all, but it's 10 meters. And then a hectometer is 100 and a kilometer is 1,000. So that's definitely the most common. And so basically it goes from a meter to 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. And then you have a decimeter, which is a 1/10 of a meter. And then a centimeter is 100th of it. So it's a 0.01. And then a millimeter is 0.001, which is 1,000. All right. So basically, if you're converting, if you're moving to the right, you're going to be multiplying. You're going to be making something bigger. And basically, what's going to end up happening is as you move to the right, it's just decimals that you're moving. And then if you're moving to the left, you're just moving decimals to the left. Okay, so the number of kind of place values you're moving here is the number of decimals you're moving. All right, so but before we jump into that, we're just going to kind of briefly talk about just what kind of form of measurement, just to kind of get comfortable with it. So if you're talking about a distance from one city to another, you're going to be talking about so many kilometers. If you're talking about the weight of somebody, grams is not much. That's more, milligrams is more like a medicine, and this is like maybe the full pill. So this is like the amount of medicine within the pill. So you're talking, if you're talking about the weight of somebody, you're talking about a kilogram. Bottle of eye drops. So a bottle of eye drops is not very big. A liter, it's like a liter of soda. It's a lot. That's a big eye drop. So you're looking at something more like milliliters. And the weight of an aspirin, is, and I think this is actually correct, it is 352 milligrams, somewhere around there. Okay, so it's not a lot. So actually that pill that I had, thinking 56 grams is actually, that's not accurate at all. So the weight of an aspirin is 352 milligrams. Okay, so some of your conversion stuff. So let's say you have 43 decameters and you are converting it into centimeters. So here's where this chart comes in. You're going from this measurement to this measurement, okay? So you're making something into smaller increments, making the value bigger, okay? So it's like taking a foot and cutting it into inches. You're gonna have a lot more inches, but it's still gonna be equivalent, okay? So you're moving 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. So all that really equates to is you taking the number 43 and moving 1, 2, 3 spots to the right and fill in your gap. Okay, so that's going to be 0, 0, 0. So 43,000 centimeters. And that's exactly why I wrote it the way that I did, is because that way, it depends on the direction, is exactly the direction that I'm going with my decimal. Okay, so if we have 2.5 decagrams, so 2.5 decigrams to milligrams, not very common, but just it's giving you the idea that we're going to be going from this measurement to this measurement. So we're moving 2 spots to the right, which just means I'm going to take 2.5 and I'm going to be moving 2 spots to the right. Okay, so I'm going to get 250 milligrams. All right, so if we go from liters to kiloliters, that's this to this. So we're going this direction, 1, 2, 3, which means we're moving our decimal. 1, 2, 3. We move to the left on the chart. So we're moving 1, 2, 3 to the left on the chart. So 3.495. And then the last one, centimeters to decameters. So centimeters to decameters, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So 2.78, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So 0.00278. Okay. All right, so calculations. We're going to perform the operations, and we're going to be doing that in the next video.